So here we are back with Jester, and today we're doing mounting practice. Now, I'm a little bit strange in that I start introducing the young horses to mounting blocks really early on. So Jester has done some work with the mounting block before. I like to introduce the mounting block just as a thing that the horses will see, even from the early beginning processes of doing just lunging practice, even before the horses are wearing a bridle, a surcingle, anything. I just make it part of the everyday routine. So by the time I actually have to use the mounting block to get on the horses, it's not anything new or different. They've been accustomed to it the whole time. The other thing that I want to point out is the placement of the mounting block in the arena during this stage is really important. So stay with me here, but when I have a young horse that I need to stand still, first of all, I make sure that I do this mounting practice at the end of our session. So if in this case, Jester has already been lunged with his surcingle on, and this is just the very ending portion. So I don't want to do this when my horse is fresh, when my horse has a ton of energy. I want to do this when the horse is relaxed, ready to stand still, has already done its work and gotten its energy out. The other thing is that I have this placed, you can't see because of the placement of the camera, but Jester is currently looking out of the door of the indoor. What I don't want to do is place the mounting block and place the horse in such a way that someone can come in the door, surprise the horse, and have the horse scoot or move while I'm doing this practice. So I always face the horse towards, if it's an indoor, towards the door, or if it's an outdoor, if there's an area that people walk in from, if there's an area that cars drive in from, I'm pointing the horse towards the things that could be scary so they don't get startled. Now, you're watching me walk up and down the mounting block. I'm talking to Jester. I'm patting him all over. I want him to get used to seeing me out of the corner of his eye. I want him to get used to seeing me on one side of his body and then the other. And all I want is for him to stand still for a few seconds to let me do this. And then I come down off the mounting block, let him move away again, and we come and stand again. I don't want to do this in such a way that the horses start to resent the mounting block, that they have to stand there for minutes and minutes at a time. That's not fair for a young horse. So as Jester is doing this, I'm allowing him to just stand. I'm not holding him in place. And usually I don't have a ground handler for this particular portion. They will come in later. This is something that I want the horses to get used to on their own without having someone hold them. I do always practice having the horses learn that they can be mounted from both sides. And this is really crucial because at some point in their lives, in their career, for one reason or another, someone will have to mount a horse from the quote-unquote incorrect sign. So I do everything on both sides. Now, I have noticed, because we tend to do everything standing on the left side of the horse, as we've all been taught, some horses can be really uncomfortable being touched on the right-hand side, and many of the young horses are more uncomfortable with the mounting practice on the right side than the left side. So I always take that into account and make sure that I give each side an equal amount of time, and know that some horses will have more feelings about being mounted from one side than the other, but we practice both. So with Jester, he initially had a little bit more anxiety about mounting from the right side, but as you can see, we're much better now. And all the times that I'm doing this, you'll see I'll put body weight, I'll touch him, you'll see that I'll lean over and I'll run my hand along his belly. And those are just all desensitization things so that the horses get used to having a leg dragged across them, or if a rider gets on and accidentally bangs their side with their leg as they're getting their foot in the stirrup. All the things that a horse might experience, I'm trying to help desensitize them to that now in a way that's low pressure and low stakes. I do this same exact practice when a horse is wearing a saddle. I do the same exact practice before I get on for the first time. I really just make this part of the everyday routine. So on the day where I do swing a leg over and sit on them for the first time, for the horse, it's a very natural continuance of what we've been doing. This is not something big and scary and different. That's why everything I do with the young horses is so systematic. Each step builds on the last, and that ensures that the horse is relaxed, confident, and willing as I go through this process.